There is 3 wording trinkets in the league and the league game, and are the farsight alteration, the oracle lens, and the stealth word. Keep in mind that the farsight alteration is only available after level 9. So once you get level 9, you will be have access to the farsight alteration. The first important information comes along with the fact that has a cooldown. It is 150 to 100 based on the level, and you're gonna scale up to 100 seconds with the levels. And this is based on the level of your own champion. This is very important because not every item works in this way. Then the second item, it is Oracle Lens. What it is Oracle Lens? It is the item that we use to remove words, commonly called Sweeper. The Sweeper has a cooldown of 160 seconds to 100 seconds based on the average champion's level. This is very important because it means that the Oracle Lens cooldown, it is the same for everyone into the game, because everyone, whole team in the game. Meanwhile, the farsight is based on yourself, okay? Which means that it doesn't matter if you are under-leveled. That has been done mostly for jungler and support, and that's also why they are the one that brings this item the most. The Oracle, it is based on average champion's level, and keep in mind it can accumulate up to 2 stacks. This is very important, because this means that if you don't use the item, like you will get to 2 stacks and you can use the 2 stacks together, okay? Then let's talk about Stealth Word. Stealth Word has a cooldown from 210 to 120 based on the average champion level, and has a duration that goes from 90 to 100 based on the average champion level. These as well can accumulate 2 stacks. And just to add some more information, I did not add the information in the slides because I do believe those numbers might change. There are new runes that changes how words goes. There is Deep Word, and there is the Grizzly Memento, I believe it's called, which changes how long the word stays, how much health the word has, and the cooldown of the word itself. That being said, let's talk about the opening cycle. This is something that I really talk about when we were going over the map opening, but it is really good to repeat this because it is an extremely important concept that is extremely connected. The whole mid game, you cannot talk about vision cycles without talking about opening cycles. You cannot talk about mid-game shifting if you don't talk about opening and wording. They are all interconnected and one needs the other to function. What's gonna be the main focus for us? It is going to be the cycle of vision, okay? During an opening, we need to respect the cycle steps to make sure that we safely gain control of areas. We need to make sure that we follow all the steps so that we can get to the points that we need without making big mistakes. So what are the steps? The steps are retake, vision, and play. So let's go from retake. What it is retake? It is regain control of our zone of the map. If you guys remember, I mentioned this multiple times. The map, it is divided in 3 stages. This is our zone of the map. This is enemy zone of the map. Obviously, I'm taking consideration we are blue side, right? Because in the other case, it is the opposite. And then there is a neutral zone of the map, okay? So do you remember what happens when towers falls? Like for example, when the mid lane tower gets destroyed, we get more neutral zone, okay? That's very important because the zone that it was set to be like this, it becomes something like this, okay? So it means this will be neutral. And we shouldn't, it's not part of our retake. We need to contest this area because now this is fully neutral, okay? Just I wanted to make sure that you guys remember about this position. So it is a retake. Retake means like getting control of areas, and the steps of the retake, it is like clearing shallow vision and catching the mid wave. We will retake the whole area, but there is an opportunity. We can skip this step if no enemy was in our zone. We have no reason to do a retake turn if no enemy was part of our map zone. If enemy were in topside, there is no need to open in bot lane and do a retake turn. They were in topside. There is no vision in our zone of the map, or at least there shouldn't be. Sometimes we will miss something, but that's like another story, a more complex opportunity to talk about that. Then there is the vision turn. and the vision turn, it means setting the line of vision. Okay, so we contest the midlane. What's the difference between catching the midlane? So catching the midlane, it means we are playing in this zone. Okay, I'm always talking as we are blue side. Catching the midlane will it means like playing the wave here. Contesting the midlane, it means playing the wave here. We actively contest this. And then there is like a deep contest and aggressive contest, which is even further, which is like playing in enemy zone of it. So what we do during like the vision turn, we contest the mid lane aggressively, we set up a pink line, and then we keep defending the neutral zone. What's the pink line? It is like something like this. It has multiple form. This is like a bot side pink line. There could be like a top side pink line. There could be like a side lane pink line, you know, like sometimes we are not contesting mid lane, we are contesting like side lane, and that's where we are gonna place our pink line. It's not important right now, the concept it is important. And then the last but not the least step, it is the play, which is making a play using the vision control we gained, which will mean we aggressive mid push. As I said before, aggressive mid push, it means like we are playing the wave here, okay? That's because we are safe. We can do this because we have the pink line, right? And maybe we even have like some aggressive vision, and we are really safe to play aggressive. We just need to hug towards the side where we have set our vision. If we set the vision top side, obviously we are gonna play aggressive in this pocket. You see, like this zone that gets created between the two circles. If we set it both side, then we are gonna play this socket. Then we set a deep vision. This could be a turn where we set like a deeper layer of vision. That could be like we will set like wording here and here or here. Okay. Now those are 3. We never set like 3, but I'm gonna like explain that next week. But this is going to be like our line of deep vision. And after this, we make a play or we contest the area. What does it mean making a play? Well, making a play can mean like a lot of different things. But I would like you guys to remember me what I consider plays in League of Legends. So like there is 3 things that I consider a play in League of Legends. That's my theory of the game, right? Okay, so the 3 plays in League of Legends, in my book of the game, we are close, Rio, we are close. In my book of the game, I'm just gonna skip to the slides where I repeat this, is neutral setup, map development, just dropping them there. We make a play or we just contest the area. So what it is contesting the area? Now this is like a kind of complex concept because it varies a lot. But it is basically on the theory of waves. One, we have set our pink line and our vision line, which could be something like this, okay? Minion wave are not gonna stop. They're gonna still coming, right? So the theory behind the contesting of the area is you will sit on your vision and you will use one of your member to contest the wave, okay? But be near your vision. An enemy cannot know what's happening. The problem is there is 2 situations that will happen when this is the case. So let's say enemy don't contest the wave at all. They let you like push the wave fully, but meanwhile your member is contesting the wave. They remove part of the vision, like this one, for example. So depending on all the variables of the game, there is 2 solutions. Either we try to contest this, meanwhile they are trying to remove, we make them waste time, meanwhile our member is contesting mid lane, or we let them take the vision, we sit on a smaller vision situation, because like in this case like our vision will become just this and this one, right? But we have control of mid lane and we set like pressure to them because we have control of mid lane, okay? Or we just decide that contesting mid lane is not worth and we go fight them. Maybe if we have like really good tools to turn on them, we just turn on them fully, and meanwhile they are contesting a vision and we get like a pick and number advantage, okay? Making a play contesting the area, that's what it looks like, okay? Now let's go over the vision setup itself. So depending on the window that we are going to play, we need different vision setups, isn't it? So the window that I use, it is neutral setup, map development, and possession. And yes, I'm going to explain them for the one like Thomas that were not aware or don't remember. Neutral setup, it is just setuping the next objective, neutral objective coming on the map. Baron, Drake, Atakan, Grabs, Herald, Elder Drakes, and so on. Okay, so we're playing for the epic monsters with the neutral setup. Then we have map development, which is developing our allied zone by destroying enemy turrets. So just like we set up the vision to take turrets, and the vision setup for taking turrets is different compared to the vision setup that you use for neutrals. For example, today's goal, it is not to actually go for the vision setup of the map development, but I'm just gonna mention a couple. Okay, so let's say we want to play for this mid tower. Where do you think the wards are supposed to be? If I'm playing for this mid tower, what I want is I want to have control over this area and this area. That's because I don't want to get flanked from here. And then I do want control over this and this one as well. This will be the perfect setup for playing for that tower. Obviously, if you want the perfect one, I have a pink here and a pink here as well. But that's a lot of vision. That's not possible. Usually what you do, it is like you have one side fully and the other one you have like one ward. Like for example, what you will do, it is you would have a situation like where you have full vision here, you know, you have like very deep vision in this angle. You have to like a retake turn over here so that you know that there is no flanks over all this area. You sweep the whole area around like this. You sweep all this. You sweep all this so that you know that there is no flank coming. And then like you just put like a very shallow kind of vision, like something like, and that's enough because you are hugging this side of the map, you know. What's possession? It is getting zone control to be able to create plays. So possession, it is based on how we are making enemy moves. So like keep that in mind. This will be enemy jungle, okay? I'm gonna use this side because there is no icons, so it's easier to understand. So once we have full control of the enemy jungle, we are forced enemy to make like deeper moves. What that means is if this tower is gone and this tower is gone, enemy to move from here to here will take this pathing, okay? Which is relatively fast because they will be able to contest wave and then like go towards the jungle. But if this pathing becomes danger line, because we have set a really good vision lines and we can cut the rotation, so like let's say like we have a good vision setups over here, like this is going to be like the standard one, you know. Once we have this, enemy cannot take that line anymore. They are forced to take either this line where they walk all the way through from here to here, but that could be scary as well because if we have vision here and we are sitting in this position, we might cut the rotation over here and make a pick, and then we make them waste time. And once you have possession, you are getting two things. First of all, your own jungler is able to farm all these enemy camp for free. Enemy team is going to be forced to lose some minions because they are losing times. And then we are chunking towers little by little. Then obviously every comp has a slightly different winning condition. There are comps that are fine to have control just to slow enemies and then they are going to full dive on one tower. There are comps that have more siege power and they will just like siege little by little. There are other comps that have no control over this situation. So what they will do is like they just put pressure and create tempo traps. If enemy try to make a retake turn, they are all sitting in a bush and they will kill the guy that is coming. That being said, those are the three plays and each one of those has a different way to create setups.